What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and achieving at least one of your goals today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2023 Nissan Sentra SR. Huge thank you to Fredy C over at Priority Nissan here in Chantilly, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Sentra SR or any Nissan product, I'll be sure to have Fredy's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. You never really realize how obnoxiously loud planes are until they're flying over you in minute intervals. Literally every single minute that goes by, there's another plane coming. But it is actually a really nice day out here today. Breezy conditions, which is nice. The sun is behind the clouds, which is also nice. The past few times I filmed in this spot, it's been super hot, super humid. So I am happy with the weather, just not quite so happy with the planes, but I will try to do my best as we go throughout today's video. So just like I always do, first, let's talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2023 Nissan Sentra SR. This particular one has been optioned with the $645 Aspen White / Super Black two-tone paint, which gives this a really sporty look, and you wouldn't expect this on a vehicle that costs what this thing costs. So working our way into our headlights, this is where we're going to start. So with the SR as standard, you get LED headlights with high beam assist, as well as standard turn signals and LED fog lights integrated nicely into the bottom of your front bumper. One thing that I really like about the Sentra as a whole, no matter which trim level you get, is that you get an aggressive and angular front bumper design that gives this a very sporty look that, again, you wouldn't expect on a vehicle at this price point. But working our way into the center of the front end, you get a black grille with a black chrome V-motion grille surround. So basically, like, this piece right here is black chrome, whereas on the Sentra SV you would just get a standard chrome trim piece. I think this thing looks a lot better. And then you also get black chrome trim pieces on the outsides of that V-motion grille right there. And then obviously at the center of your front grille is where you will find your Nissan logo. And then zooming back out just a tad bit, on the outsides of your front bumper, you get these gloss black outer grills, one on that side, one on this side, and that is where you will find your LED fog lights integrated nicely into those black grills. And that's kind of really about it for what we got going on here at the front end. There is an option that you might want to consider getting, and that is the $2,470 premium package, which up here would give you LED daytime running lights and a 360-degree view camera system. This particular one has not been optioned with that option, but you can see all the other options or features that come with that package. But working our way into these wheels, these are the standard wheel option that you can get with the SR, and they are an 18-inch machine face with black pocket wheel, and they are wrapped in 215/45 Hankook Kinergy GT tires. If you do not like the way that these wheels look, you can get the optional $785 18-inch black wheels, which kind of add to the blacked outness of the SR trim level. But I do want to show you what these or what the tread pattern looks like on these tires as best that I can. There you go. And then bear with me, I'm gonna wait for this plane to fly over. Working our way into these side view mirrors, you get gloss black mirror caps with the SR with integrated turn signals. These side view mirrors are heated. You get your blind spot monitoring system on the inside of your mirror, so right here and about right there on your passenger side. And then last but not least, these are manual folding. Like I just mentioned a little bit ago, this black painted roof comes a part of the two-tone, which you get the white paint and the black roof, and that is a $645 option that I already mentioned to you. But I do want to show you a little side profile shot of the Sentra SR right there. One thing that's kind of interesting though, at the side profile, at the top of your windows you get black window trim, and then at the bottom of your side view windows you get chrome window trim. You also obviously get body color door handles with keyless access. Just keep in mind that the keyless access function is only on your front two doors. And then I also really like about the SR is these aggressive side skirts. It gives it an element of sportiness, or adds to the sportiness of the SR, and I think it just, you know, again, just gives you that ground effect that you're looking for when getting the SR trim level. And I think it just does a great job at just, you know, completing the entire package of the SR. But working our way up top here, that is what your antenna looks like. You get a rear window defroster, and then obviously this is the SR, so you get a body color spoiler back here. I love the way that this thing looks. One thing that's kind of interesting though is that right here it has a little cutout for your Nissan logo. So back here, one little neg, I guess you could say, to the SR is that I wish with the SR, all of this stuff would be blacked out, whereas it is chrome. So you get chrome badging back here. And then just beneath your Nissan logo is where you will find your backup camera. Your backup camera is right there. Again, 2018 and up in the United States, backup cameras were mandated to all consumer vehicles. But just below your Nissan logo, you'll find a little pad. Press on that pad and your trunk will open up to reveal a couple options. So this particular SR has been optioned with the $270 carpeted floor mats with the trunk mat. So basically you get the carpet floor mats with the carpeted trunk mat back here, and then underneath all of that is where you'll find your spare tire and your jack and everything that you need to replace this spare tire if, God forbid, you do end up getting a flat tire. But I do want to close that trunk there. And then there is one more option. So this one has been optioned with the $75 bumper protector, which is what this thing is right here that says Sentra. So let's say you're loading a suitcase in and out, you can be scratching this piece up right here. Instead of scratching up the actual paint, you'll be just scratching up this piece of paint protection film, which is, by the way, self-healing. So again, instead of scratching up your paint, you're just basically scratching up this little sticker right here. So that might be an option you might want to consider getting if you're going to be having kids that's going to load stuff in and out of the trunk. Again, that might be an option you might want to look into. This one has been optioned with that option. But as standard with the SR, you get 4 integrated backup sensors, so you may be able to see you get 2 on that side, 2 on this side. You also get a reflector on that side and a reflector on the passenger side as well. And then last but not least, you get a satin black and gray rear valance, as well as a single exit exhaust on the driver's side of the rear end. One thing though I wish I would have seen besides what I just mentioned is I wish there was a dual exhaust system for the SR. I know it doesn't really need it, but it definitely would add to, again, the just sportiness of the SR trim level. So, you know, nobody's going to listen to me, but that is just something that I would like to see on future SRs in the coming few years. Again, I doubt anybody's going to listen to me, but that would be a nice touch. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 2-liter 4-cylinder that makes 149 horsepower and 145 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to the Xtronic continuously variable transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 9.1 seconds. If you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 28 miles per gallon in the city, 37 miles per gallon on the highway for 32 miles per gallon combined with front wheel drive only. And while I do understand that those, you know, horsepower figures, those torque figures seem a little bit low, I think this thing more than makes up for it with its fuel economy. And by the way, it actually puts the power down pretty nicely, and it's, you know, relatively peppy for what it is. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm now on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your support. I'd greatly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart if you guys would like it, subscribe. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving into the interior of the Sentra SR, you do get keyless access as standard. Just have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle and press on that button right there, and the vehicle will either unlock and or lock dependent on if the vehicle was unlocked and or locked. You also do get remote start as standard. All you got to do is press the lock button once and then press and hold the button above that, and it will fire up. And that is what it sounds like when you remote start the Sentra SR. But let's move into the interior and let's see what the driver's side door panel has to offer. So all of this area that I'm circling with my pointer finger is all leather wrapped. You also get a nicely padded armrest with some orange accent colored stitching. That's kind of the theme of the SR, is the orange accenting. And then over here, you get a satin chrome looking door handle. You get your power side view mirror controls, passenger window privileges lock right there. Get your unlock and your lock functions, and then you get an automatic up and down driver window. None of the other windows are automatic up or down. Then you get a little bit of miscellaneous storage space at the bottom of the door panel and a spot you could set a water bottle. But taking a look at the driver's seat, you can see it is cloth, and then you do get some of that orange accenting throughout. You also get a manually adjustable driver's seat, whereas with the SR premium package, that would give you a power adjustable driver's seat with power lumbar. But let's step on into the interior and let's, you know, avoid those planes, because I'm starting to get really annoyed with planes. You know, they're just obnoxiously loud. And you don't realize, I never really realize it until I'm filming a video and I'm like, oh my God, this is obnoxious. But it is what it is. It's life. You deal with the cards that you are given. So starting over here, pressing on that button will put you into eco mode. And then these buttons here are to brighten and or dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. This is your trip reset button for like your trip computer there on the productivity screen. That button right there will pop open your trunk, and then all the way down here, when you pull on this, that will open up your fuel door. Working our way over to here, pushing on that will drop that down, and then you get a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. Basically, you can pull the steering wheel out, push the steering wheel back in, and then you can move it up and down to your liking. But let's take a listen to our turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like. This is your turn signal stock. Not only is this your turn signal stock, this is your high beam control stock, your headlight control stock, and your fog light control stock. So starting over here, going all the way down, that is headlights off, daytime running lights on, headlights always on, and then headlights in the always on position, and then fog lights on, fog lights off, and that is that. This is your windshield wiper control stock. You get a leather feeling wrapped steering wheel. It doesn't, I don't know if it is actually leather, but it feels like leather. And then you get some orange accent colored stitching on the inside of the steering wheel. At the center of the steering wheel, you have your Nissan logo and your horn as well as your airbag. So let's take a listen to that. That is what the horn sounds like on the Sentra. And of course, once I start filming on the inside of the vehicle, the planes stop flying over. It be like that sometimes. But moving over to here, that is to volume down, that is to volume up, and then these controls here are all for your 7-inch productivity screen. That is to go back on a track, that is to go forward on a track, and then that is your back button. And then over here, you have your cruise control settings. So this is intelligent cruise control, and you get intelligent cruise control as standard with the SR. And then that is to bring you into your phone screen on the infotainment system. That is to speak to the vehicle, and that's kind of about it for what we got going on our steering wheel. Now, moving on into our gauge cluster. On the left-hand side, you have your RPM gauge, also known as your tachometer, as well as your coolant temperature gauge. And then on the right-hand side of the gauge cluster, you have your speedometer as well as your fuel gauge. And then moving on into our productivity screen, this is what your 7-inch productivity screen looks like. So up top here, you have your time. To the right of that, you have your temperature. You have some alerts up top here. That is your odometer, transmission status stuff, and then that is your fuel range. To control that screen, again, you have these different arrows here. So basically, I'm just gonna click to the left. So that's gonna bring you into your audio stuff. So let's start all the way over here at our home screen. So this is what your home screen looks like. It basically just has your digital speedometer readout and your average speed. Clicking this arrow to the right, that will bring you into your fuel economy stuff. One more time to the right, you got your tire pressure stuff, as well as your trip information stuff. Go down one more, and then that is your speed limit sign. If you press and hold OK right here, that's gonna reset your trip information. And then clicking down one more time, again, speed limit sign stuff. Clicking over to the right, audio stuff. One more time to the right, that's your different like driver assistance features. So you got your forward collision alert stuff, your lane keeping stuff, your blind spot stuff, and then clicking down is your adaptive cruise control screen. And then coming over to here, VDC is basically traction control. Then you can go in between your different driver assistance stuff. This is what your driver assistance stuff looks like. That's your second screen. Don't want to spend too much time on that. This was my vehicle. This is the screen that I would personally leave it on. Working our way just a little bit to the right, this is your 8-inch infotainment system with wired Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto connectivity. This is what your home screen looks like. Clicking over to the left, that's one screen. Got your clock. Clicking one more time to the right, then you have your different audio sources and your time up top there. One thing that's interesting is when you click it, it sounds like a computer from like 2000. Take a listen. And you can actually turn that off in your settings, but that's basically what comes on these vehicles, you know, when you buy them, they make that sound. And then over here, that's your volume control knob, that's your tuning control knob. And then you have these different shortcut buttons at the bottom of the screen. You have your phone, your audio, connections, info, and your different settings. So we can go, this is with the phone, this is your audio, then you can go between your different audio sources down there. Then you can go to your connections. That's my connection, my phone is connected. You can go between your info, you can go to your system information, and this is one setting screen, and that is the other setting screen. And then down here, you kind of have like the same buttons, but they're physical. That is to put you into night mode as well as automatic mode. So that's night mode. Click that again. That is auto mode. That's to go back on a track. That's to go forward on a track. That will pop up the audio stuff. That's your home button. This will bring your phone stuff on screen, and then that will bring you into your camera settings, basically your predictive lines. So when you put this into reverse, you get those predictive lines. Boom, that is what that looks like. And then all the way over here, you have your back button. That is what that looks like. That's kind of about it. Coming down a little bit, this kind of reminds me of the Audi S3 because you get those circular HVAC vents, excuse me. And then that's your hazard button. That lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. You get dual zone climate control as standard with the SR. And then here, this is what your climate control system looks like when the screen is on. And that's, you know, kind of about it for that. Coming down a little bit more, you get a 12-volt power outlet, which is right there. You get an auxiliary jack, a USB-A port, and a USB-C port. And then down here, you get a little bit of storage space where you could set a phone or, you know, all of this miscellaneous stuff that I have down here now. Push button, start button is right there. If you wanted to go into sport mode, you just push the thing into drive. Now we're in drive, and you have this little button right here. So when you press on that button, puts you in a sport mode. So now you're in drive, and then you get that little S right there letting you know that you're in sport. If you click that button again, so I'm gonna click that again, now we're just in drive. Now we're just in normal mode. And then if you pull all the way to the bottom, that is low. That's kind of about it for that. 2 cup holders right here. You get some faux carbon fiber trim. Not sure how well the GoPro is gonna pick it up. It's some faux carbon fiber trim. Faux carbon fiber trim up top here as well, and then you also get that on your door panels on both the passenger and on the driver's side as well. And then you get a great spot. You can set your key fob right there if you wanted to. You get a nicely padded armrest, very nicely padded armrest that is leather wrapped with some accent colored stitching. Opening this up, let's see, I would say about, ooh, damn, I'd say 65% of my forearm fits down in there. So quite a bit of storage space in that center console, especially considering, you know, the size of this vehicle. But working our way over to here, you do not get a lockable glove box, but you get a decent amount of storage space in your glove box. That is your owner's manual. You can fit some snacks, you can fit your tissues, you can fit what you need to in there, and, you know, quite a bit of storage space also in that glove box considering the size of this vehicle. You just get the standard rear view mirror there. Get your taco holder right up top here, also known as a spot you could set your sunglasses. And then driver gets a light, passenger gets a light, boom and boom. Clicking on that button will turn on all the interior dome lights. And then if you click that, now when I open up the doors, the lights will turn on. However, if I click that button again, now when I open up the door, the interior lights will not turn on. Then opening this thing up, you get a little clip right here. You can set your registration. Then you get a vanity mirror, but you do not get a vanity light. However, you do get the vanity light when you guys get the premium package. Opening this up, this slides backwards, this slides forwards to your liking. Then you get an OPOOP handle over here on the driver's side. You also get an OPOOP handle over there on the passenger side as well. I gotta say that these seats are pretty comfortable. Especially, I could do a pretty long road trip, honestly, in these seats because they have nice support. They feel good on my back, but if you want a little bit more comfort, you could get the premium package. So I might as well just go over the premium package now. This is a recommended option that I would recommend you get if you're looking at this. It is a $2,470 option, so it is relatively pricey, but I think it's worth it considering what you get. So with that package, you get a 360-degree view camera system, you get LED daytime running lights, you get a sunroof, you get a vanity mirror with the vanity mirror lights. You also get the vanity mirror with lights. You also get a power driver's seat with the power lumbar. You get heated front seats and a heated steering wheel. You also get a Bose 8-speaker sound system with that. You get the Primatech seats. You get the Wi-Fi hotspot. You get the knee pads for your center console and a couple other things. But basically, you get a nice knee pad right here if you had that package. Now, what comes standard, I'm going to highlight a couple things that I thought were important that come standard with the SR. Basically, adaptive cruise control, keyless access, the 6-speaker audio system, the blind spot monitoring, and the automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection. I gotta say that this audio system, it's okay. That's kind of one of the reasons I would recommend getting the premium package, because if you like good music, you like listening to music in your vehicle, you know, this sound system, it sounds like the base audio system. It's really not all that great. But basically, now I'm going to put the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at what you get with this vehicle as standard, and as well as the couple options that this vehicle has. Basically, I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2023 Sentra SR is spec'd is $25,025. I think this is a bargain considering what you get. This is a very, very nice vehicle, especially for $25,000. Like, it looks great. It definitely doesn't look like a $25,000 vehicle, but I want to show you what we got going on in these rear seats before we moved into the driving portion of the video. It's getting kind of hot in the vehicle, but anyway, we'll open up the door. Back seat, or back door panel, looks very similar to what you would find in the front, with all the leather wrapping, the padding. You get the faux carbon fiber trim, you get the satin chrome looking door handle. You do not get an automatic up or down window in the back. However, the window rolls all the way down here in the back, and then you get a little bit of miscellaneous storage space at the bottom of the door panel. And this is what your rear seats look like. So folding this armrest down here, you get a nice armrest. It is nicely padded, and you get 2 cup holders. Stepping on in, you do not get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. However, you do get one behind the passenger seat. And then you get one USB-A port there. You get your dome lights up top here. You get a OPU panel over here on this side. You get another OPU panel on that side. I am 5'9", and I am adjusted behind myself. You can see I still have quite a bit of knee room, quite a bit of leg room, as well as a little bit of headroom left over as well. So again, this is a very comfortable vehicle. I think it is a great vehicle for $25,000. You know, very few vehicles nowadays for $25,000. I mean, there are a few, but you know, as time goes on, there's less and less. But you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the review, where this thing actually drives really nice. The 9-3 grip feels awesome in my hands, and I love the flat bottom-ish design of the SR. I think that also adds to the sporty element, again, of the SR. It brings the outside sportiness on the interior with this flat bottom looking steering wheel, and I absolutely love that. I also really like the way that my hands feel in the 9-3 grip. It's just awesome. By the way, that Ram 1500 Limited Longhorn looks pretty darn good as well. But this thing rides, drives, and just overall great for $25,000. It can be a little bit loud, I guess you could say, at like 80 miles an hour. But you know, it's kind of what you'd expect out of a $25,000 vehicle. You know, with it being $25,000, obviously you're not going to get the level of refinement that you get with, you know, like an $80,000 or $60,000 vehicle, even like a $50,000 vehicle. But you get a pretty dang good package for $25,000. Like, if I was looking for a vehicle and my budget was $25,000, I would definitely at least have this on my list of vehicles to look at, because it is really nice. I think it looks great. It drives great. I do wish it had a little bit more power. Here's some, I'm gonna floor it. I'm gonna put it in sport mode first, and now I'm gonna floor it. So you can see, it is not the fastest thing that you've ever driven, but that's not the point of this vehicle. The point of this vehicle is to get or make a vehicle that's attainable for most people. And I think that's exactly what this is. Like, this is a great, you know, brand new vehicle that's attainable for a lot of people. And that's what's so great about this, is that Nissan knows that they need a vehicle that's attainable, that's brand new for a lot of people. And that's exactly what this is. And they give you a really nice vehicle at that price point. You know, you get the wired Apple CarPlay, you get the wired Android Auto, you get great brakes. And while, you know, it is not the quickest vehicle that you've ever driven, it's not the fastest vehicle you've ever driven, it gets really, really good fuel economy, considering I think it's like, what, 27 in the city, 38 on the highway, or something crazy like that. So yes, it is a low entry point, you know, price wise, to get into a vehicle. That's a plus. But, you know, once you get into the vehicle, you're like, well, is it going to be reliable? And, you know, I think short term, medium term, I think it will be reliable. I don't know how this CVT is going to be at, you know, 120,000 miles. Heck, it might be. I see a lot of people commenting in my comment section about, oh, CVTs are unreliable, Nissan CVTs are unreliable, and stuff like that. But, you know, from personal experience, my mom's had like 3 Nissans in a row. She doesn't have a Nissan anymore, but she started off with a 2014 Altima, then she got a 2016 Rogue, and then her last one was a 2019 Rogue, and none of them ever had any issues with the CVT, or any issues really at all. they're just a little bit slow. You know what I mean? It is what it is. They're not fast, but that's not the point, again, of this vehicle. If you want a fast vehicle, you can go out and buy like a 5th generation Camaro SS for, you know, $25,000, and, you know, that'll be reliable too. But then, you know, it's not going to get the greatest fuel economy. It's not going to have a warranty, and so on and so forth. And it's not quite as practical as this is. So, I think it is an awesome vehicle, again, for the money. You know what I mean? It looks great. It drives great. Sound system is decent. And that's kind of where I wanted to say, is that I would consider heavily, if I was going to get this vehicle, it would have to have the SR premium package. It just would. I need that 8-speaker Bose sound system, and that's really one of the big reasons I would get that package, is because of that Bose sound system. You know, the standard sound system, you know, it's okay, but for me, you know, it's not enough. I like to listen to music. I like to listen to music loud, and this sound system, it just doesn't do it for me, and that is why I would need to get the premium package. And I know the premium package is a lot of money. It's nearly $2,500, but then at that point, you get a really, really nice vehicle with pretty much all the options that you could ever want on a vehicle. You know what I mean? Like, it's got, all right, this guy's gonna go. What the heck? All right, I'm gonna have to honk at this dude if he's not gonna go now. But yeah, Bose sound system is a must for me. Again, just the way that I look at things. But I mean, if you don't really care about listening to music, this one was fine. Here, take a listen. Floored. Again, not the quickest thing in the world, but back to the SR premium package, you get a lot for your money with that package. It makes the interior look a little bit nicer. You get the power adjustable driver's seat, which is also something I would like. I don't necessarily need, but the 8-speaker Bose sound system is something that, you know, is very important to me, but it might not be important to you. So this, you know, I will throw up what comes with that package on screen right now and what the price is, so you can, you know, see for yourself, and you can see if you want it or if you can skip it. You know, for me personally, that's a package that I would recommend, and that's a package that I would want if this was going to be my personal vehicle. But again, everybody has their differing opinions of what they want and what they need, and, you know, that's just my opinion of what I want and, you know, what I would need. So here, let's see what the body roll test looks like. Boom, boom. It handles pretty dang well, I gotta say. The suspension is really nice, and you could push this thing on a back road. Yeah, very, very minimal body roll. It actually handles really well. You felt the I'm not sure if you felt it, but I felt the steering wheel shake a little bit, basically being like, dude, what are you doing? Stay in your lane. That is what that little vibrate is. It's basically like a lane keeping assist system. But yeah, I mean, I think for the price point, you get the automatic emergency braking with the pedestrian detection, you get the blind spot monitoring. I think that is really awesome. That comes standard, that comes standard with this vehicle. Again, I'm going to put it in sport mode again. We're going to do another little acceleration here, and we're going to see how she does. So here's like a half throttle. One thing that I like kind of is that, you know, this is a CVT, but it actually like does those simulated gear shifts, which is something that I like. You know, I don't really like it going just like hanging out at a certain RPM. I don't think it sounds good, and it's kind of obnoxious to me. So I do like how it switches between different gear ratios. I think, you know, just for me, I do like the sound of that. But let me give you guys a couple seconds to hear what it sounds like just cruising at about 45 miles an hour on a back road. Handles really well. So again, guys, this is a really great value in my opinion for what you get for the money. I think it looks great, and again, I think it performs decent, but I think you get all the creature comfort you could ever want for $25,000. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm now on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach that goal without your support. So if you've taken anything from this video, if you've enjoyed this video in any capacity, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. But like I said, that's it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.